Hey, I'm Duke on Twitch. If you want to support the channel and greensunzenith.com, you can find my Patreon, merch store, and singles store where you can buy singles through TCG Player or Card Hoarder in the video description. If you want to get in contact, you can also find all that info in the description below for things like donation deck lists or just wanting to reach out. Alright, let's get right into it. Hey team, welcome back to Dukes on Twitch. Back today with another stream of Abzan Depths. This list, a little bit different to the one we saw win the Legacy Challenge, which I guess we'll see how it goes, but has a little bit more flexibility in some of the matchups that you face in leagues. Mostly some of the changes are around cards like Surgical Extraction and Deafening Silence, and just being really good cards for combo, and also having something like Outland Liberator in the deck against some of the bridge Khan decks that we're seeing with the One Ring around. So really interested to see that. Choke and Opposition Agent are also cards that I just really like to restrict opponents on mana. Obviously, Opposition Agent also nice in the mirror and against other Knight of the Reliquary / Green Suns decks, so pretty keen to see how Agent goes, but otherwise pretty much the same. I've gone out to 2 libraries. I still think 2 is fine, but it just makes way for that extra slot being either the 4th Knight or the Liberator, depending how you build this. I've actually kind of changed it up a little bit with the Knights as well, because I have gone for the 4th Knight over the extra crop, just as a way to really shore up the threats of the deck and making sure that I have enough to win the game, because if the Dark Depths plan isn't online, then it's really just Reclaimers and Knights that are getting there. So making sure I have one at the ready is pretty important. So pretty interested to see how that goes. Not too much else to say. Pretty happy to get stuck in, see how it goes. Potentially play a second league if this one goes quick. So let's play a league with play points. Playing Depths. Nice. A big hello to all those watching on YouTube, including locals like Ben Comwell. Hey Ben. Nathaniel Koch, hope you're doing well. A few Depths fans locally, which is really nice. Played against it a lot over my time playing Legacy in Queensland. It's always been a really fun matchup for the decks that I usually play, so usually like that. It's a pretty sweet hand. We have one piece of the combo, our mana's great. The step's a little bit redundant, but we do have a turn 1 Bowmaster, so happy to keep this. And hopefully this is a blue deck. Opponent's gone down to 5 cards, which doesn't tell you too much, but typically it means that they're trying to be a combo deck. Alright, opponent keeps 5. Mountain Pass. Interesting. That kind of makes me want to go Mox, pitch the Scrubland, and then play the Windswept Heath, which gives us access to our basics in case this is some sort of like mono red sort of Blood Moon deck. Grove. Interesting. Still pretty happy to fetch here and just play out the Bowmaster, just to get something in play. Hey Master, big thank you for the Prime sub. A huge thank you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a nice weekend. Let me know if you play Legacy, what your local scene's like, if you have a local scene. Happy to play this stage here and just attack for 2. Having the other Bowmaster is nice as well, just to go a little bit wide here. Mountain and Grove isn't something I'm too familiar with. Lands doesn't usually play Mountain. Interesting. Hey Wessa, welcome. Honestly here I'm still pretty happy just to keep going wide with these Bowmasters. This seems like a pretty fair matchup. wonder if they have one copy of Punishing Fire. The pass back. Okay. Crops live here. Green Suns, a little live threats, which is nice. Could be Endurance, but there's not really something here that I really care about that much. Punishing Fire. Okay. Interesting that they allowed us to untap and draw into another Orcish Bowmasters, which would have made that token a 3/3. Pretty happy just to play the fetch and pass. Hey Hein, thanks for the follow. Hope you're well. 3 mana. Ensnaring Bridge, main deck. Okay. That's still gonna be fine. They do have 4 cards in hand. And obviously we know about Punishing Fire in hand. For the sake of it, I might as well copy the Forest here. If my opponent is a Wasteland deck, I'm going to assume there's some sort of, like, I actually don't even know what they could be. Knight's a fantastic draw, especially as a 4/4. Hey K-Sound, welcome. Hope you're doing well as well. Ensnaring Bridge, Mountain Grove. Sahar, welcome, my friend. Welcome. Alright, we're just going to get this Flagstones down. And play the Knight. Knight will be a 5/5 with the fetch. Hopefully we can get to a stage where the bridge won't matter because we can just wasteland their groves to keep them off from casting things. But obviously the more basics they have, the worse that gets as a plan. Fury. Okay. I guess if they go all 4 on the Knight, they can then Punishing Fire it as well. And they did pitch a Rebel Master, so this is like a mono red punishing style deck. Very cool to hear you finished your set of ports. Very nice. So they will go 4 here. So I'm pretty happy just to fetch to make them have to Punishing Fire the Knight. Okay. Happy just to get the Plains. I don't really want to get the Dried Arbor when they have the Punishing Fire there. One card left for them. Thankfully, we do have Outland Liberator in the main deck of this list. So we do actually have an out to the Ensnaring Bridge, which is kind of where I'm at with Outland Liberator in a list like this. I think it's a pretty small risk of having it as kind of a Green Suns target. We haven't seen Khan yet, but I assume it's in there somewhere, sadly. Okay. They are down to 10. Chandra. Okay. I assume this ticks up. It does. There's a 2. Yeah. I still think we make the 20/20 here. And then try to just knock the top of our deck and draw into Green Suns to go and get Outland Liberator. And we want to sack the Flagstones for that. got to kind of play to our outs here. Okay. I do want to keep this step in hand. They do have the Punishing Fire to deal with the Orcish Bowmaster, and they could just tick down the Chandra to take care of the Elvish Reclaimer, if they care about it. Okay, well now the clock's really on. Okay. Bog's actually pretty strong here because it takes out the Punishing Fire. But at least here we pretty much have everything set up. Ooh, a second bridge makes it really difficult, if not impossible. Because we would have to flip Outland Liberator to get rid of both. Tough. I think double bridge main deck does it. Yeah, sadly, Colin, I think it might be. Another really good example of where Minsk and Boo is fantastic, because obviously that's a really nice out to Ensnaring Bridge. But I do want to see a little bit more of their deck. Hey Arnie, welcome. Definitely tough, but not too much to do. Okay. Oh, we could Green Suns into Endurance to hit one. Like, we sack this and then Endurance ourselves and then find another Green Suns to get there, but it's going to be a race against time for sure. Especially with this Chandra most likely altering here to pretty much deal 7. So I guess they ulti this, and then every Punishing Fire is us take 6 if they return it as well. And then these ticking up is just pretty much a 2-turn clock. We have a few things for this matchup, mainly just the Force of Vigors and the Teeg. Probably the 2 things, but obviously Fury and Punishing Fire just really nice answers to the Teeg as well, but tough. Right. I kind of hope they return the Punishing Fire now. You don't. Oh, please do. Because then we get to attack with this. No. Okay. Still, it's going to be tough. So Liberator flips here. Comes a 3/3. Cool. I think honestly we just don't have enough time here, but it's close. We are just dead next turn, but at least shows our game plan. Oh, Grist? I think it's still too far gone. But even like Grist, fetch our Dryad Arbor, and then take care of the Chandra is kind of cool. But obviously here we do just want to go for the Endurance to put the Outland Liberator back. But it is nice to know that we also just have the Grist as a way to get rid of walkers on the field as well. So this sort of matchup, I'm happy to get rid of the Safekeeper and probably just the Bowmasters. Also the Caracas. I do want the Bog because we saw the Groves. Probably not Deafening Silence. The Force of Vigors, yes. The Gaddock Teeg. I don't mind the... Definitely these. I don't want the Orcs. Are they playing Minsk and Boo? I'm not too sure about that. We do just want one more. Could just be an extra Endurance, to be fair. I don't mind that. Hey Bob Mans, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate the shout out the other week with your shirts. Very cool to see. Hope you did well in that tournament. It actually seems like a Minsk and Boo deck, especially as a deck that could get there pretty quickly. Ooh. This is a turn 1, 3/4 Reclaimer, if that means anything. No. It's kind of 1 Mox Diamond too much. That I'm pretty happy to mulligan this. Okay. Probably pretty happy to keep this and bottom the Dryad Arbor. I think Bog just might be a little bit better. We go for turn 1 Reclaimer. Which hopefully doesn't get hit by a Punishing Fire turn 1. Oof. It's never a great feeling. I mean, I guess they could play Chalice for 0 to stop Mox Diamond. Ooh, I kind of want all of these, to be fair. Oh, but I don't have a second green source for Reclaimer, which is a little bit tough. Like, I could try to crop for Yavimaya, but that doesn't seem great. Like, maybe the play is play Dark Depths, sack the Scrubland for Yavimaya, and then have a green for Reclaimer. I didn't take that into consideration. I think now that I'm at 10, though, and this Chandra's just here as well. Could also honestly just be hold up. But that's not great either. Honestly, if the Chandra wants to go after the Reclaimer, I'm pretty happy with that. Buys us like a pseudo turn. But if this is the plan, I think Bog is probably correct. Because then it means we untap with 3 mana plus Depths. Oh, sorry. Yeah, 3 mana and then play Depths. Wow, they're going to Fury? Okay. Blood Sun. Well, that's pretty good. Sure. None of these are great, and still no second green source, which is really tough. You can crop for a new Depths and force the Blood Sun to get a token. I think it still comes in with the counters on it. It just doesn't have the ability to remove them. I don't think it's like Blood Moon, where it comes in with no counters on it. Because I don't think, like, Dark Depth enters the battlefield with the ice counters on it, so it doesn't gain them on ETB, so it's not like an ability. I guess we can definitely try it. Put this on top. I guess we play the Bog. Oh, it doesn't come in tapped. Okay, that's kind of cool. I haven't thought about the One Ring in depth. But it is one of those cards which I think everyone is just kind of thinking about. Fable's fine. Babel's fine. Yeah, the ability to fling Lage is a huge one. Alright. So we obviously want to crop first. Oh. And then exile these two. Oh, wow. Look at that. I didn't know that was a thing. So thank you, Colin. Too good. Very, very cool. Yeah, that's really interesting because to me, Dark Depths entering the battlefield with 10 ice counters on it doesn't seem like an ability, but I guess it is. Very interesting. Nice. A huge thank you. Do we want to change anything? Probably not, honestly. Like, I don't even think we need like surgical or punishing fires. Like, the forces are obviously very nice, so happy just to run this back. Very cool to know. Look, this is a turn 1 3/4 Reclaimer, but it does just pretty much lose to Khan. So I'm pretty happy to mulligan this. Because, like, what do? We go, like, yeah, this is a mulligan. Not much better, but we do have, like, Mox, pitch, land, play land, and then have double Reclaimer. Well, we did for a second. Now we don't. I guess we still play the... Probably just Savannah Pass. And then we can drop the Mox for this step and then go with Grist next turn. But yeah, this is one of those situations where, although Chalice isn't as well positioned as it once was in Legacy, you know, we have probably like 5 turns to draw into Force of Vigor, or Chalice just kind of wins the game. And if they have a Khan, oh yeah, like even hitting the Mox here is brutal. Okay. That does give us a game action. Hey, Third Horseman, thank you very much. Yeah. Tough. Yeah. I don't think we have an out from that start. And probably is a reason to have like the extra Force of Vigor in the deck. But a tough one. Honestly, we were pretty lucky not to have like that kind of draw from them in game 1 or 2. With just Mountain Pass, I believe both. Even though game 2 they had the Dead Gone. To not have like the Soul Land into 3-drop turn 1 or, you know, Soul Land into 4-drop turn 1. Can't complain about too much. I obviously think the red version's better against Moon. Being able to naturally just play a planeswalker out like Minsk with just a forest is really cool, or like one green source. Also, I am very orange. There we go, that might be a bit better. This is a yikes from me, dog. Okay. We will keep... I think it's just the second Green Suns, just because Knight is a threat that I'm wanting to Green Suns for, but it's obviously one less mana. Bloodstained. Oh, okay. Well, I think here we're definitely just passing with Windswept open. The only time I would go for Dried Arbor here is if we draw into a Mox Diamond. But even then, it's probably not even worth it. But I don't think against Bloodstain Mire Pass we have the luxury of Dried Arbor turn 1. Yeah, it's very much seems like a slow... Honestly, I kind of just want a Wasteland here. Bayou. Okay. That's pretty nice. Could be Jund. It's weird for Jund not to have a turn 1 or turn 2 play. That's very strange. Still nothing. Alright. They also missed a land drop, which is pretty huge. Turn 5 and no plays? I just... How do I board? Okay. Oh no. Ah. See what they get. Thanks. We have a lot. Honestly, we have a lot. Thoughtseize, yes. Deafening Silence, yes. Oof and Teeg. Agent. I would say, like, these 6 are definites, And then it's a case of like, what else do you want to bring in? We don't need the 4 swords. That's an easy cut. Safekeeper, Caracas, Grist. Even the libraries. I don't mind a choke on the play. I don't mind the surgicals alongside Thoughtseize, but by themselves typically aren't good enough. I think this is going to be it. Maybe like 1 less knight and 1 choke. Because who doesn't love a choke? Pretty great hand. We have turn 1 Deafening Silence. Just to buy some time, and then having the Orcish is also really nice. Always play 61 in Depths, Sahar. My reasoning is that there's so many tutors for the deck, having the 61st card, which is Outland Liberator in my opinion, is worth it. It's hardly going to come up, and the times that it does come up where at the turn, the game 1 Outland Liberator is relevant, it's worth that little bit. But look, it's a personal choice. I don't get too hyped up when I see a 60 card deck. I go, damn, they really found a nice list. So here I think it's just going to be... Oh, that's pretty nice. Just hold up Orcish. Honestly, I don't mind just going... I don't mind an upkeep Orcish. Like, I could get him, but... Because they don't have up blue mana, I'm actually happy to pass. If they want to brainstorm in their end step with no fetches out, that's more than fine. I mean, here we actually have Deafening Silence into Orcish, into Teeg. Honestly, seeing Matt Punishing Waterfalls play like, I think 92 cards in his latest 5-0, it's pretty cool to see. I wonder if there's a world here where we go for Collector Oof first, because the second Green Suns can't be cast with Teeg out. I think that might be my play. And see what they do here with the Bauble. We try. I assume they have Abrupt Decay here. No. Okay. Happy to attack first. And then we get to go land. Hey, 10 Arms. Look, I think on the play, this has been an exceptional hand, especially because Deafening Silence is just such a speed bump for a deck that probably has an answer in like Abrupt Decay or some sort of 2-mana bounce spell for Deafening Silence that is a really nice case of just like building pressure in like, obviously Deafening Silence by itself is not going to win the game. They're going to find an answer to it. So then having the Orcish Bowmasters to slow down their cantrips, and then the Collector Oof to slow down their artifact acceleration, and also cantrips, I guess, in Baubles, and then also Teeg to stop things like Peer into the Abyss, Empty the Warrens, Massacre, anything like that is pretty good. Yeah, I think there can be something better than the choke. I'm not too sure. It could be the Safekeeper potentially. if I do want to protect cards like Teeg and collect Oof. What do we have here? We don't have turn 1 hate. Funnily enough, I have thought about Ancient Tomb in the list, and this would be a turn 1 Collector Oof or Gaddock Teeg, thanks to Mox, Pitch, Step, Land, Fetch, Savannah, Crop, Ancient Tomb, Green Suns for 2. But happy to mulligan this to... probably not even this, honestly. I don't think we have the time to get to turn 3 to Green Suns for 2. It's obviously getting pretty risky, but in my opinion, this matchup is all about card quality, not quantity. So a 4 with something like 2 lands, Deafening Silence, and X card is good enough. I'll go to 3. Okay. We do have a turn 1 Teeg. If we want the turn 1 Teeg. Ah. Oh. It could... let's just cancel this for a second. Honestly, for a 3, you can't ask for much more. It's not the flagstones. I think it is having a turn 1 Teeg, though. But we have to have a land for that, which is tough. So I think we drop the crop. Look at this. Look at this. That's just... How can you hate all Storm players or combo players when there are combo players out there like this? Too nice. Too cool. Look, I think it's this. Because this hand allows us to draw into turn 1 Deafening Silence. Just don't float. Oh, no! Okay. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's all good. Maybe we should play Reanimate in the sideboard. That would be kind of cool. Come on. Deafening Silence. Haha, close. They know about the cards, so... Yeah, definitely take a page out of Newton's build. Oh, no land? Look, I guess it's going to be Dried Arbor Beats here. Like, think of the worst case where I assume Dried Arbor getting hit with Fatal Push turns off Green Suns for 3 next turn, but every damage matters, especially if they are still on Adnors. Oof. Literal oof. The one nice thing about this deck as well is that we do have so many good low to the ground hate pieces. Just reanimate Maritlage? Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. That's pretty good. The Bog is at sorcery speed here, but I'm happy to get the extra land into play. No respect for days, no. Not out of Tess. I've seen it sometimes in Ant builds, but I haven't seen it personally out of Tess. Alright. We sixin'. Come on, Green Suns. Here we go. Or Deafening Silence. Not what I really want here. Really interesting to see that nothing has really got there just yet. Sorry, I'll say that again after this match. I mean, we're definitely attacking here because this means they can't fetch if they don't destroy something here. Yeah. And I assume it's Collector Oof they go after. Stage is also a copy of Dried Upper here, which is really nice. But yeah, I think if we do get there in this game, it does show that there's definitely matchups where card quality is much more important than card quantity. There's no point having knights and big threats in your hand if you're just going to die to early combos. So making sure you have ways to survive the early turns and things like Deafening Silence or Gaddock Teeg or Collector Oof or Orcish Bowmasters is really important in these sort of matchups. But I feel like our opponent is trying to calculate how they can get out of this turn. So. All right. Okay. At least if they get Grape Shot, we can copy Dried Arbor with the stage. Oh, they go for empty? Okay. That's fine. The question here is do I want to copy the Dried Arbor? I don't think I do just yet, unless I guess they only have one card left. There's no real downside. This does kind of make it awkward for them on how to attack, because they have to leave back, I guess, at least 3, if not 4 blockers. They attack with 10. Honestly, I'm happy just to take this. Oh, and now it is dead. Yeah. Because... tough. Yeah, maybe I did need to block some last turn. They aren't right-click and attacking all, though, which is interesting. Surely. Ah. We're at 9. We have 6 blockers. Oh. Unless they have something else. Can we somehow get Sajiri Step to give Pro to get through? Ah. What if we put 2 Dried Arbors in front to make this a 3/4, and then we have Pro Red off crop rotation to get through? I think that's it. Whew. Tough. Yeah, I think that's going to be it. Rough. But pretty cool game. Honestly, a lot of back and forth. I'm not sure. Maybe they thought we had some sort of out. But I could have definitely blocked the Reclaimer. That's just on me. I think it was kind of just me tunnel visioned into, if I didn't draw into step that turn, the Reclaimer block didn't matter. But best practice is to block with a 1/2 against a 1/1. So close. Sajiri Step. Yeah, pretty cool game. Especially like turn 1 Thoughtseize take your threat. Definitely had a lot of game to it, which is nice. Can't ask for too much more. But let's hopefully bounce back from this. Tess and Red Green. Yoshiwada. I feel like they're typically a Delver player, but you never know these days. Yorion. Okay. It's hard to drop this. There's no real threat other than the actual combo, but having mana online, some interaction in Swords and Wasteland, I'm pretty happy to keep this. Steve, very cool to see you. I really enjoyed your write-up on Reddit regarding Eternal Weekend. No Loams, but Loam would be pretty interesting. I really like Loam alongside something like Savine's Reclamation, so you can get everything back, which makes a bit more sense in this version that isn't playing... We know the card. Minsk. No Ramanap, actually, either. Yeah, a lot of builds have been moving away from Ramanap, which I find surprising, but a lot of the non-Ramanap builds have also been putting up results, so a little bit of a 1-2 punch. Honestly, I think this I'm happy to fetch Caracas for. So let's just go and get Savannah. And then crop that. Because we do care about Thalia to some extent in game 1. Okay. This is going to be tough. Oh, Plateau. Okay. Oh, that's actually an out for us, because if they're playing Magus of the Moon, which is typically the reason to splash red, we can put in Depths and then swords it. So that's kind of cool. Okay. Honestly, just fetch here is fine. I don't want to throw the Mox into a Skyclave just yet. Lion Sash. Annoying, but not over, like... Yeah, you can have that. It is tricky, though. Yeah, maybe, honestly, I just do deal with it now. It's one of those annoying cards that you care about to some extent, but... Oh, they go for Magus. Okay. Hell yeah. I should have fetched as well, but we're just in this for pretty much just swords. They can't wasteland either. I guess they could... Oh, well, they could have kept Aether Vial on 3, so they could flicker out the Depths in response to removal on the Magus, but now it's kind of just a race for us to find swords. And them not to play a Caracas. Okay. That definitely changes things. Yeah. Tough. I like the Opposition Agent, the Tower, the Oof, the Thought Seizers, the Forces are fine. The Bog can come out. Bowmasters are okay, but not the greatest. I don't mind having like one in the deck. Probably don't need both forces either. Crop's still nice. Library's still fine. Could just be a trim. Maybe it's actually a trim on... Probably Depths, to some extent. And then one Knight. I think trading a Knight for the Opposition Agent is fine. And like a turn 1 library start would be fantastic. Really want to get that library down before anything else. This is great though. How about to keep this? Get to Thoughtseize first as well. 1. Mox. It's probably the depths, but like Yav just being mana online is quite nice. We don't care about the mum, which is nice. So let's take the swords here. And then fetch up a... I'm just going to get a Savannah. Because we have the black source in a Mox. So I assume here we see planes into mum. Sure. Do they spend the turn porting here? They play the port. No 2-drop. I am going to sack this anyway for a flagstones, so I'm happy to use the mana here. Okay. Wonder if they preload on 1. They haven't used, they've used 1 sword so far. Okay. Magus is fine. Hey Kree, welcome. Has to be Kaldra. Kaldra also... The Magus... Oh, they get Jitte. Which we don't have an extra green for at the moment. Well, that's a start. Ugh. Might as well trade here. Yeah. I sadly don't think we just have the time to get through the 2 Magus. It is tough not having additional removal. Especially something like Prismatic Ending would be cool. On the play, which is nice. Happy to keep this. Just going to be buy you, play Mox, pitch the stage, and then pass with pretty much instant speed up, which is nice. A little bit awkward against Prismatic Ending, but otherwise we're in a pretty nice spot. I'm pretty happy just to fire off the Bowmaster. Really just want to ramp here as well. Hold up swords and crop if needed. Okay. Wow, they go after that? Pretty happy then to crop this away and go and get a wasteland to wasteland them. Oh. Sadly can happen with the, obviously with the Mox Diamond deck. Especially with no other cards in hand, really need a library to make use of these Mox Diamonds, or this is going to be a pretty fast game. Okay. Don't mind attacking with both. I usually play 4, just because Mox Diamond's such a strong card in your opener, that having the extra one from the typical 3, I think is worth it. Ponder chose not to shuffle. Okay. Yeah. I don't think there's too much to do there. Just take some time for the other games. So there's going to be a Grixis shell. So I don't mind the Thought Seizers, the choke. The Agent seems strong. Bog, Caracas, Amox. Teeg's also pretty interesting. I honestly don't mind dropping a crop. Ooh. Oh, I've just submitted a 63, haven't I? I have. That's cool. Okay. We'll see how this goes. Just a pass. Okay. No turn one play likely suggests that they didn't want to spend a Swords of Plowshares on the Dryad Arbor and thought that they would allow us to cast something and then swords that. Or not. Well, this is fine. They are sixing, so I'm just going to get pretty much the combo up right now. And look, I might as well even... just play around Wasteland potentially. But we do have Safekeeper out with 2 lands, so... Oof. Hey Moraj, welcome, hope you're well. Steve Rush. Testing did really well. I hit triple dig on bench, which is very cool. So now in the triple digit category for bench, and then obviously squat and deadlift, but yeah, getting there for bench was definitely one to overcome, and nice to get there. Very nice to get there. The only card I can think of here is Council's Judgment or Sheoldred's Edict, in that this is a non-token or a token creature. Okay, Krakus is fine. Oof. You'd love to see it. All right, let's get this boarding correct. Honestly, In the age of TikTok lifting, yeah, I know. Yeah, it's very. I like the aesthetics of it for sure. It's a lot nicer than what it was before. Yeah, potentially choke. Choke's tough though, especially against a deck like this. It's very feast or famine. Teeg is a no-build with Green Suns, but typically it does more to keep your creatures alive through things like Supreme Verdict if they're playing it, or even Prismatic Ending. They do have Caracas though, so maybe Teeg can come out. It might even just be 1 Mox on the draw. I don't mind that. But yeah, Teeg typically is just a little bit better in these sort of matchups. Pretty happy to keep this. The only nombo is Library if they have an Orc, but we have a few things to draw into if they do have that. Okay. Okay. Maybe there's a thought for Tower, knowing that we saw the Stoneforge Mystic, but here we are. I like playing Stage here because it turns on crop rotation. It's just a way to steal a win. But Kaldra is something to be weary of. Could also try to wasteland the white source, but I would assume they either have cantrip into third land or just third land already. Yeah. Okay. Put on top. Put on top. Depths. Mox. Probably pitch this. Pass. They could have Lanta Fairy or another Prismatic. We know about the top cards as well, so I'm actually pretty happy just to play the Endurance here. Which does stop the 1 damage from the Stoneforge. And even though we take the 5 here, we do have the ability just to end step. The 2020, hopefully. That's fine. They already played a land for turn. So now it just has to be swords. So now we gain 3. I mean, we gain 20. That's fine. Happy to get aggressive as well. Hmm. 2, 4, 5. I don't mind starting off with Reclaimer. And then I probably actually want, just to make sure, Tower is in the board, correct? Yes, okay. Definitely a lapse in my judgment, not just to pick this up that this is Esper Stoneblade, knowing that we saw Stoneforge. They're also fetching aggressively, but they don't know the top cards, which is really interesting in a deck that I assume plays Brainstorm. I could play we're going to paint for this. All right. So we're currently at 13. So I could allow us to untap with Reclaimer as well to play around some sort of instant speed removal on the Knight, but I probably don't care about it at that point because if we get Stage, then we have the mana for Depths anyway, so I don't think we actually matter. I was going to do the math of like, we pretty much have 3 more attacks and then we're dead. But maybe they have like opposition agent and that's just gonna be it. No. Well, let's go for Stage. Okay. I mean, that's 1 sword's less. Oh, that's interesting. So I could Bowmasters right now to look with Library, but I think here we don't want to because we want to have 2 mana open for Reclaimer and then Plains and Wasteland to copy. So I think here we just don't do anything. And then again, happy to get in with Endurance. We're at 20 life. They're slowly coming down. But at least if they do something sorcery here, like play Caracas, we can then move towards the Bowmaster. This is going to be fine. So they have 2 cards and Batterskull. Alright. So we get to go 1, 2, sack Flagstones, trigger, go and find Savannah, trigger, go and find Depths, copy Depths. Do we get another 20? Oh my gosh. Well, we're on the board, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. Look at that. The old dog still has it. Yeah, that game definitely showed the power of Knight and Reclaimer. But it did also show the power of Orcish Bowmaster. Yeah, I can only imagine that. I think what they might have seen was if they don't Swords the Knight here, we get to untap with 2 online and 1 combo piece, which means that 1 gets to go for the combo while 1 gets to hold up Sajiri steps. So potentially that actually is their only time to go for Swords to Plowshares without it getting countered, which is pretty huge. That's the only thing I can think of. Yeah. All right. Big M90. Atrocious. Atrocious. This is better. Happy to keep this. But it's actually interesting to see what I put back in the blind. It honestly could be Green Suns. Yeah, I kind of like Reclaimer into Bowmaster or Swords or Hold Up Reclaimer. They just passed the turn. Wow, okay. Well, that's pretty huge. I don't think they meant to do that. Look, it could be Manaless Dredge, but they're also at 6 cards. So I feel like Manaless Dredge just keeps 7 to do that. Okay. Okay. They chose to shuffle. Okay, it's pretty good for us. Scrub pass. I actually like not attacking here because it gives away that we have something. I'm happy to hold up as if we potentially want to see a brainstorm before they play a fetch. Okay. Honestly, I think if I use the Reclaimer here, they're probably just going to go for it anyway, if they have a brainstorm, so I'm happy just to play the Bowmaster. I mean, here we get to untap and then play the Grist as well. Or just hold up Reclaimer. Because now we also have Sajiri Step online. Okay, let's see what they try to target first. Okay. So let's go with... sack this. Yes. Savannah. And step. Pro black. Which means they don't amass 1 either, which is pretty relevant. Yeah, so thankfully, because the 1 damage fizzled, the amass 1 also fizzles. Dak. Okay. Who do they target? Target us. That's more than fine. We get to Swords the Bowmaster in response. Oh my gosh. So the Grist allows us to trade away a token with the Dak, which is cool. Honestly, I think it's probably these two. If we draw a land, we also get to go Bowmaster and Grist, but that's probably a little bit risky. I think we want to Dak first anyway. Sorry, we want to Grist first. We want to see if this resolves. Okay, it does. So now we want to fetch, make this a 3/4. But then we probably don't need to actually trade away a token. So let's go attack Dak, attack Dak, attack them. And now we just get to tick up the grist. Putting another land in the yard, which is nice. Now if they try to get rid of the Bowmaster and like Brainstorm, we have another Bowmaster coming, which is pretty sweet. Probably should have Bowmastered in response to this, but I did just... yeah. Punt. Okay. Pretty tough spot for them anyway. Okay. Like a Grixis. Okay, well let us give up. Well, that's kind of lame. Decktech. I think tonight the deck wasn't too happy with us. There were a few times where we just didn't find the removal we really wanted. So I could see something like on top of the Plowshares having more. The sideboard felt fine. Obviously cards like Opposition Agent need a pretty big reason as to why when you're running a Green Suns package, and why this one copy of Agent isn't just a 5th copy of just another green creature, which is tough. Yeah, the Dak Bowmaster interaction is really interesting. I guess it's tough for them to do it, because if they do it with themselves, they obviously take damage from our Orc, but yeah, I guess it forces us to have the removal spell. Yeah, I didn't mind this. I do like Bowmaster right now, but it doesn't do too much for the deck's strategy. But I think that's okay, because right now it's just obviously a pretty well-positioned card. I don't think it's been found out too much. I think if anything, Orc is just the best answer for Orc. But yeah, like I think the Agent is kind of a flex. Obviously the choke. I do think Teeg is pretty strong right now, especially with the One Ring in the format. You know, Surgical and Endurance as a split for Graveyard Hate, but also Endurance just being a nice body for things like Delver and Control. Deafening Silence and Thoughtseize. I just like having a permanent in play against some combo decks, especially the Dark Ritual decks. I think if anything, I'd like to find room for Prismatic Ending in the deck. I still think that's a really nice removal spell and does get rid of some things like Ensnaring Bridge that we saw game 1. It's always tough to find the room, especially when you have things like Orc taking up that sort of slot. Like you could nearly go back to just green-white. There's really no reason to not run a third color, but it would be really cool just to run a straightforward green-white list. But obviously the red splash of Minsk adds to the strategy, gives you another win con, and the red splash is very easy to do. So I can definitely understand that. But yeah, really nice to try out Abzan again. Yeah, maybe even the extra Moxen. You know, trying out a build with Ancient Tomb would be kind of cool as a crop target, and potentially going up on the crops to 4 again. I wouldn't mind seeing. But hey, hope you guys enjoyed this stream. I was on last week with Mark Strassman on Eternal Dirtles for an episode on Maverick, which is very cool. So that should be going live probably this week. And there is an exclusive from me as well on that for an upcoming event. So definitely check that out when it gets released on any platform that you listen to podcasts on. That exclusive will also be launched probably this week. I'll announce it. But it's to do with the lineup for the Green Suns Summit in September, which is a weekend-long co-stream event with 7 Legacy, or I guess Magic aficionados. So that should be pretty cool. Really looking forward to that. And then this week I'm off in Sydney for the week, so I won't be streaming, but I'll definitely be having content going live on YouTube over that time. So you can find me here on YouTube, here on Twitter, of course. You can find me via my Discord as well. And the Green Sun Summit, or the Green Sun Zenith.com. I'm going to see quickly who else is streaming and send you guys over there. But a huge thank you once again for coming in and watching. It does look like Gabe is streaming, which is always nice. So I'm gonna send you guys there. Through this. Oh, that should work. Nice. A big thank you once again. A big thank you to new followers and subscribers. Very much appreciated. I'll catch you next time. And to those on YouTube who are still watching, a big thank you as well. A huge thank you to you.